All right, so let's start with Omicron. Where are we now? You start to hear some of those numbers and seeing that, the cases drop here in the tri-state, and it gives you a little bit of hope.
And I think that's warranted. First we saw it start to come down in Boston. Now we're seeing it start to come down here in the New York City tri-state region. We did reach a peak. This was quite a peak in terms of case numbers, in terms of hospitalizations. Unfortunately, we're still seeing a lot of deaths. But we live in a big country, so it's going to take a little while. This is going to be a broader peak than it was in South Africa or Scotland or Denmark. But I do think that as this moves across the country, as we get towards the end of January, we're going to see the same pattern across the country. So I think there's reasons to be optimistic. I will comment on Anthony Fauci's comment. I, I would love to be as optimistic as he is. I don't think this is the last peak. It might be the worst peak. I think that's reasonable. But I think it's pretty clear COVID is here to stay. Next winter, we're going to see cases, we're going to see hospitalizations and deaths. We anticipate at a much lower level, but that's really going to be driven by people's personal choice around vaccination. And it's also going to be driven by what happens with regard to reinfection, which we certainly see, and the severity of those infections when people have had COVID once and they're getting it the second, third, or fourth time.
Now we have vaccines, we have people being infected, we have those reinfections. So is Omicron actually milder, or does enough of the population have some sort of antibody at this point?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. The WHO has cautioned people against just saying, oh, the virus has become more mild. When you really look closely at the experience, we are seeing less hospitalizations and less deaths per case number. But if you look really closely at the experience in South Africa, the experience in Scotland, in Denmark, really a lot, if not all of this, could be explained by prior infection, prior vaccination. So clearly, if you're a vaccinated individual, your risk of hospitalization and death is significantly decreased. In the early waves, we didn't have that. We certainly didn't have as many people boosted. Recent infection, and I think this is positive. The CDC has actually now recognized for 90 days prior infection. A lot of people are excited. They had they had COVID. It was miserable, and they've said at least for the next 30 days, at least next 90 days, we think you're at lower risk of being reinfected with Omicron is really what it is, because unfortunately with Delta we saw reinfection. So we're not sure the virus has necessarily gotten to be milder. There was a big hamster study people are very excited about. I will let everyone know no hamsters are being admitted. The hamsters are doing well, but no, don't go out there. Don't have an Omicron party. This is not that attenuated virus. We're still seeing hospitalizations. We're still seeing deaths. So still be careful. Please take this virus seriously.